to take your game to the next level, you want to be a world champion, take the fighter training stack. Victor Conte's fighter training stack has brought me to the next level. Everything that I take on a daily basis, the fighter training stack is the best thing out right now. Devin Haney, I'm Snack Strong. Get it now, right now.
Hey everybody, what's up? Marcos Villegas here in Las Vegas, being joined with Chris Eubank Sr. Chris, thank you so much for joining us over here. There's so much I want to talk to you about because so much has been happening in boxing, but the primary thing is I want to talk about your son. He's making his American debut on Showtime coming up against a very tough opponent, Matt Korobov. But the interesting thing is he was a champion at 168, and now he's moving back down to 160. What do you make of that?
Sensible. Because he then becomes the big middleweight rather than the small super middleweight. So, that makes good sense. I mean, he only went up because the money was really good at the World Boxing Super Series. So, he tried that, and now he's back down to his natural weight. He walks around like 172 pounds. See, so super middleweight, just too small. Middleweight, he makes that, and he's like, right now he's 164, 2 weeks before the fight, so he's good.
What do you make of Korobov? He had a really close fight with Charlo. A lot of people felt that he beat Charlo in that fight. He's had another fight, I think, after that, but what do you make of him as a challenge to Chris?
It's a very good challenge. It's a tough fight for Junior. If Junior doesn't use his brains. Junior only has to be careful, and he'll outbox you. Or until you make a mistake, and then he will obliterate you, because he's got that hand speed, and he's vicious, and he's strong, he's relentless, and so all of that really adds up to a friendly fighter. So, I'm of the view that the American audience will appreciate what he has to display.
He's finally coming over here to the States. I know if you were a boxing fan, you've known of your son for a while now. Why at this time? Why not before, or why not wait a little bit more? Why at this point in time?
Because, we have signed a contract with PBC, and that's where they're directing us. And I trust PBC, and it's hard to win my trust. Having had 24 World Championship fights, having won 19 of them, I know who's good. And so I think Junior is with the best. Right now, he's with the best.
With the current middleweight champions, I want to say, Charlo obviously is the one that's on the PBC side. All the other rest of them seem tied up with DAZN right now. Canelo with all the belts, and then you have another few champions. Is the goal, I would say, Charlo, but obviously the biggest fight out there for him is Canelo.
Yes, and that's what he's heading for. His view is, if he can make the statement that he needs to make against Matt Korobov, then that will engage the Charlo fight. And then when he makes that statement, as he thinks he will, and I believe him so long as he's actually engaged psychologically, he'll do that job as well. Then, what he's been talking to me about for 3 years, which is Canelo. See, he's always believed he could beat Canelo. And I'm like, well, are you sure? I see how you can, but you can't afford to make reckless mistakes like carrying your elbow 1 inch away from your ribs. It's got to be closed because he will get in and rip you to shreds. So, know what you're coming up against. You're talking about Canelo old school. He's not one of these new school fighters. This guy's not doing jumping jacks and press-ups. This guy's doing what it says on the tin. He's been trained to fight. They believe in sparring. They may not even believe in running. They believe in sparring, and that's what makes a great fighter, which is what he is, and I respect. Canelo, I respect him. But I can see how Junior can. And effectively, I'll tell you, it's work rate, volume. That's how I think he thinks he can do it. And I'll back him all the way. All I say is, you can't carry your hand like this. You can't box like that. It's gotta be stuck there. Otherwise, he'll take advantage of it. You know, I don't just like Canelo. I love him.
Yeah, I can tell it's a lot of respect that you have for him.
Why? Because I'm a purist. I know about the art, and he has learned it, he's been taught it. You know, and it's an old craft which really, you know, isn't being exhibited. Well, I mean, okay, Ruiz, he exhibits, you know, that old school skill. Mayweather Jr. exhibits that old school skill. You know, it's rare that you see people who have actually learned the trade properly. You know, sometimes, you know, fighters today are fast-tracked, so they're not given the time to learn their craft. You know, they go into world championship fights when they are still in secondary school. You know, not even in college, and they're being put into university. Are you with me? It takes time to learn this craft, this art. You know, it takes humility to actually listen to your elders and follow the rules of the life you have to live, because you can't shortcut it. You cannot shortcut it. And you know, these principles are very important for this reason. Your health is on the line. You will get damaged.